Hi everyone, this is Amelia with In Skagit. I'm here with Brian Carroll from Secret Harbor, and I'm going to be interviewing him today about this great organization. Brian, what would you say Secret Harbor's mission is here?
Our main focus is on working with kids and families that are involved with the State Department of Social and Health Services. So there's some kind of family crisis going on, and we have several programs designed to try to help them get successful and stronger and able to function as a family again.
So what kind of programs do you guys do here at Secret Harbor?
We have three very distinct programs. The first is intensive treatment foster care. So we license and train and certify foster parents to work with kids that have been removed from their families because of abuse and neglect allegations. And we provide those foster parents with very intensive training around trauma, because all of the kids that we deal with have experienced pretty intense traumas, pretty extreme traumas, as have their families, because just the notion of being removed from your family and being placed in foster care can be a really traumatic thing as well. So our foster care program is really designed towards keeping those folks safe, making sure they don't get traumatized anymore by their placement, and really trying to help them get into some kind of a permanent situation, either back with their biological family or with an adoptive family or with some other community resource that might be able to help them. The second program we have is our residential treatment program, which is what Secret Harbor is probably best known for. The first 50 years that we were in existence, that's all we did was very restrictive residential treatment out on one of the San Juan Islands. So residential treatment is currently only for boys. We have 2 group homes that have 6 boys in each of them, 1 older kids, 1 younger kids. And those are for young men that really haven't been successful in the foster care system. The behaviors that they've developed are extreme enough that they need to live somewhere with 24-hour supervision. And the goal of that program is really designed for them to be able to get stable enough to not require that kind of supervision anymore. So they go to public school, participate in community activities here in the county, and have a lot of adult support to help them do that. So the goal is for them then to move on to foster care, or maybe to a family setting as well. And the third program we do is intensive in-home services, and that's the one that we're probably most excited about, because those are families that are at the point where they hopefully can get some support and get services from us, so they can not be involved with the state anymore, not be involved with Secret Harbor anymore, and just move forward. So we've been really successful working with the state of Washington to use the same kind of fiscal resources that we get to have kids in foster care, group care, but we're able to invest that in the biological family instead. And sometimes those are really tangible things, like maybe they need a bigger house to live in, maybe they need a washing machine or transportation, or maybe it's a family member that's willing to take a child, but they're really not set up for it, so they need beds and dressers and stuff like that. So we really work to provide some very tangible kind of support to those folks, and then we just surround them with the kind of resources they need to be successful, and hopefully that doesn't last a real long time, and we in the state are able to bid them well, and they can move on without the kind of restrictions and just the kind of negative stigma that comes with being involved with the state or having your kids taken away, obviously.
I read on your website a really great article about how these programs are helping to be able to improve the local community, because it's being able to take these people that might otherwise have like behavioral problems and being able to provide them with the nurturing and support that they need to grow into being successful, productive members of our community. And I'd like to hear more from you on that, about how Secret Harbor helps support the community with the work that you guys do here.
Well, we made a really big change 10 years ago when we left the isolated setting of the residential center and became a totally community-based organization. And that really has been just a phenomenal success, because all the work we do is in the same kind of settings that those folks need to be successful in. So we're doing our support work with our teenagers in the local high schools. We're providing them with opportunities to be involved in local recreation, maybe get a job in the community, do things like that, which are very real life kind of things that can then be replicated either in a foster setting or hopefully in their biological home or home of another relative. So teaching folks how to live and be successful in their own communities is a huge focus of what we do, and really helping them try to locate what kind of resources are available for them if they start to struggle again. If there's a substance abuse issue, obviously the kind of community supports that are available most anywhere for those, but also just really being able to target the kind of things that that specific family needs, and then find ways that they can get those things in the community, but also give back to the community by being a stable and productive member of it.
So you mentioned that you guys made a big change 10 years ago. And so can you kind of tell me a little bit about the history of Secret Harbor, how you, what you were before and what you guys have, how you guys have changed?
Well, the agency started 71 years ago as a fledgling group facility out on Cypress Island in the San Juans. And as I mentioned, we did that for 50 years and we're very, very successful. Focused on kids from all over the country early on in our history, and then focused down more towards local kids and state of Washington clients only towards the latter part of that time. I think the big change was just in following our culture and following the culture of caring for families, which was you don't help a family be successful in the community by taking somebody out of it and sending them away to work on stuff and then bringing them back and plopping them back into the same situation, when most of the times that situation hasn't had the support it needs to change. So we looked at different ways to revise the intensive residential setting, and then just decided what we need to do is move. Also, the land was valuable, and we were able to turn that resource from one isolated setting into multiple settings in mainstream community. And really, as I mentioned before, get in and do the same kind of rehabilitative work, but doing it in the local community and not having to isolate people in order to work on their specific things when it's living in the world that they really need to learn how to do better or learn how to do differently and recover from the kind of traumas that they experienced. And that really is best accomplished in the local community with as much family support as can happen, and always being focused on towards the goal of reunification with their family and getting out of the state system altogether.
Can you tell me some of your success stories that you guys have had here at Secret Harbor?
Success comes at a lot of different levels. For us, the ultimate success is when young people are back with their biological families and able to function like that again. Other successes, we just had one recently, are when kids whose biological families are no longer an option for them actually get adopted and are able to move into that kind of permanency with a new family. Those are always huge successes, but you know, the other parts are so small. It's a success for us when we have the same child in the same school district for an entire academic year, and they were able to be with us and be stable enough that they didn't have to move schools 2 or 3 times, which often happens in foster care. You get bounced around. So successes come in a lot of different levels, and you know, we keep data on our success, and 87% of the young people that we deal with get better and move on to less restrictive settings, and the kind of issues that they come decrease in intensity during the time that they're with us. So the real successes come that way, but also just in, you know, these kids and these families are in such crisis, and with the opioid situation and issues just around abuse and neglect and poverty and so many challenges facing the families that we deal with, that just being able to be with us and not get further traumatized, to get on a path towards recovery if necessary, or on a path towards a brighter future, is a big success. So it's not a, you gotta get adopted to make it, or you gotta get back with your biological family to make it. Some kids are with us for long periods of time because of the level of severity of their issues. And for them, even to move on to a supervised living situation, but one where you have less people needing to be around you to help you through the day, that you can go on and be more independent and do what everybody else wants to do, which is be happy and healthy and be with people that care about you and love you and are able to help you and support you moving forward. So that's the true success, and we see that a lot.
So it does sound like you guys have a lot of success stories here at Secret Harbor.
Lots.
So how can people support Secret Harbor as volunteers or as donors?
The biggest area that we seek support in is in folks, and there's a lot of different ways that you can support an agency like ours. We are always looking for foster parents, people that are willing to open their homes and their hearts to little kids or big kids, folks that need to be in a temporary kind of situation because of the things that are happening in their family. And we cover from basically Marysville to the Canadian border. So we cover 3 counties in foster care, and there are a lot of opportunities at different levels. For example, sometimes folks don't want to foster full time, but they're able to give a weekend a month or something like that. So they can be the respite family or the family that helps give regular foster parents a break every once in a while so that they can get some much needed rest. Also can do foster care on a full-time basis, or could theoretically volunteer at different parts of the agency to help out with that. We're actually expanding our services to provide support services to local foster families in Skagit County. That's a new contract that we have that we're fulfilling, and also looking to get more involved with the state around visitation and some other programs. And those are opportunities where the community really could do some less clinical, less critical kind of volunteer work with our folks and really give back. As a nonprofit organization, donors are always needed. The state of Washington tends to, like most states, reimburse at a percentage of what your actual costs are. So in order to break even on the services we provide, we need to raise like 10 or 20% of our $3 million budget every year. So that's always an issue, but there's a lot of ways to get involved with our organization or just other nonprofits. And go into www.secretharbor.org is a good place to go look and see what kind of opportunities there are to help.
Well, I think that was a lot of great information. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to answer my questions. I am excited to share with all the people in Skagit about this great nonprofit and organization and all that you guys are doing for the community.
And thanks to you all for doing that. It's awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.